baseball glove now. So let's go and get to some baseball news. So Yo Moncada, once again, these young signings extensions, you know, they White Sox did it again. They signed him to a 5-year extension, pretty much his whole rest of his rookie eligibility, and plus I think a year.
Yeah, so Yoan Moncada, he's got a 5-year deal with a 6-year option worth $70 million, which is great. The White Sox have been spending a lot of money this offseason.
They have.
That puts them into the $336.5 million they spent this offseason.
Yes.
So they're trying to win. They're trying to do the big things for their fans.
Yeah, when I saw that number between free agency and the young contracts, I'm like, wow. So ultimately, he gets a $4 million signing bonus, but it's $800,000 each year. So this year he makes $1 million. Next year $6 million. 13 the year after that, 17 and 24, and then the team option for 25.
So gradually increases every year. That's cool.
And then the option year can increase if he wins an MVP in the time frame. It goes up 27.5, and if he comes in either second or third in the MVP vote, he gets 26.5 for the option year.
Oh, that's actually attainable because Yoan Moncada is pretty good. We saw
He's
him
finally processing last year, so with that team around him, he can definitely maybe strive to get more at bats, more home runs, and whatnot.
I know when he was here in Norfolk, he was a pretty hot commodity. He was hyped up. He was supposed to be the big thing. We got to see him play. Now that he's up to the big leagues, I think he could live up to that hype.
Yeah, he's finally feeling his swing and feeling his place there at third base. So yeah, and then other contract, we're talking about how last week we talked about Yelich signing the extension.
Yep. So now we got final details on this, I think.
Yeah. So
it's a $188 million extension, 7 years through 2028. But that's not the best news. The best news is he's got a Bobby Bonilla contract.
Yeah. So he is deferring $4 million each year.
Right, out of his $26 million a year, I believe.
Yeah, that's the average. Yeah.
Yeah.
So starting 2031 to 2042 on July 1st, he's going to get $2.5 million roughly every year.
He's going to get paid until he's 50 years old.
So, yeah.
That's great. That's a great contract. That way you can't blow your money. It's like winning the lottery and you get paid every year.
Yeah.
Till you're 50. I think he'll have more money to mess with, and that's not going to be a factor, but that's a good contract.
The only way it goes a little less if he I think the last year he opts out or something, or they decline the contract, it goes to 2.3. Still, you're getting $2 million
right
every year, and
right
way after your playing career.
I mean, as long as you're smart with your money, like the athletes are these days, they're not going broke. I mean, they're investing. They're doing things.
This is coming to more a common thing now.
Exactly. Getting a salary doesn't mean much because they're getting paid more with endorsements and other investments that they're making. So I think Yelich should be pretty well off.
Yeah, like Max did it. That's one of the shocker how Nationals got it. Chris Sale's extension with the Red Sox 2 years ago, he got some money deferred. So it's like this is a more and more common thing nowadays.
And I do believe that Yelich will pan out a lot better than Bobby Bonilla.
Yes,
in my opinion.
So definitely. So a little more. Let's go a little more. Let's say contracts and stuff. But Lindor has suspended any contract talks with Cleveland.
Right. I mean, it's not like anything's going bad. I mean, I think he's still on a good.
Yeah, he just said he wants to focus on this season.
Yeah. I mean, he's 26 years old. He plays for the Indians. He's been All-Star the last 4 seasons straight. He's definitely one of the best shortstops in the league.
Yeah.
So I think
he's making 17 this year.
Right.
He got the bump up. He, of course, is under the technically he has to sign at least one more year because his rookie eligibility. Mm-hmm. Then he's a free agent after that. So the whole thing is people are saying like, is he like people are like not worried. He's more as a focus. He knows what he's worth. He said it. And we kind of here in Cleveland's not willing to pay it, so that's why the trade rumors are going to start swirling, especially if they start losing early on.
Do you think they're in a position to lose early on? I mean, I thought they were in a position to do okay. I don't know.
It's going to be a toss-up. It depends on what they do that first half.
Yeah, so I guess depending on how they start off the season might depend on what they do with Lindor.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah. So.
All right. So with that being said, let's talk about Realmuto.
Apparently, his camp or someone close to him said they are having extension talks with the Phillies,
and I think that's great.
if I was Phillies, I would not lose this guy because he's going to be paid.
Right. So JT Realmuto, they need to lock him up. I mean, not often you get a 5-tool catcher, man.
Yeah.
I feel like
Unfortunately, I don't want them to sign.
I know, me either. But you already got Harper. You got to lock this guy up and build a team around those two, and you could have a great team. I mean, the Phillies could be in the discussion again if this happens. I mean, he's on the team now. But I think he's that good that you can't lose him. You can't afford to lose him.
You don't give up the prospects and stuff for 2 years.
Right.
Last year, then this year. That's it.
Like I said, I think the Phillies want to win. They built the team. They fired their manager last year because he didn't get it done. They want to have the guys. They want to win. So this is the guy who's going to help you get there.
Definitely. He is. That's why he made the top of our list because he is that guy. And if he doesn't sign with the Phillies extension for, let's say, a pay cut, he's going to most likely get the biggest contract for a catcher, even still with the Phillies if he resigns, because that's what he's probably demanding because he's that kind of a player.
Like I said, he's a 5-tool player. You don't find that often, especially with a catcher.
Definitely not. All right, that's pretty much all the contract kind of talks we got for this week.